All right, what's up, everybody? Brian Rhodes here. I got some amazing special guests tonight, Billy Womack, Tom Karen, and I'm going to start this off playing a video from Tom about Hyper Nerd. This is a cool project. I can't wait to hear more about it. Tom's out in Hawaii, and Billy and Tom are going to talk more about why they're in Hawaii. And this isn't just your regular kind of company. These guys do some cool trips. So I'm going to play this.
My name's
And
Tom Karen. I'm the chief nerd and I wrangle nerds.
I love it.
My whole career, I've been trying to innovate. I've done several tech companies, bootstrapped ones, VC-backed companies. I've done blockchain projects. It's always about having some really big idea and trying to build something new and disruptive. And the challenge that I've consistently run into is in the execution of the idea. How do you actually get people aligned around a vision? And then how do you measure their contribution? How do their activities affect the project? It's just this dark art still. The care and feeding of technical people is still a very dark art. I feel like the world that we live in now is just delineated by software. Everything is becoming software. And so it's not just like a tech team problem anymore. It's really an every project problem. How do we get the team aligned around and passionate around building something, and how do we measure their work and their impact? So that was the problem that was in my head, along with the idea that maybe sometimes nerds, people that are the builders, the disruptors, the innovators, they don't always get their fair shake of something. That was really the inspiration for the hyper blockchain. The hyper blockchain, we hope, will be decentralized and owner operated by builders, disruptors, entrepreneurs of all sorts all over the world, a community coalescing around the industry of getting stuff done, a way that we can build applications and platforms that are going to increase the effectiveness of entrepreneurial projects. So help builders get their job done. That's the purpose of the hyper blockchain. Why should someone get involved in this? Why could it potentially? I think people want to get into a project that's going to be big. I've had the privilege of working with a lot of great teams, and I've created, along with those teams, enterprise value approaching $2 billion. This is a bigger movement. Every innovation in the world is technology related now. Everything that's moving business forward and humanity forward is some sort of technological innovation. So there's not a team out there that doesn't need to optimize the performance of their team. So the potential of this is really every project. Every single technological innovation could benefit from this platform or from a platform like this. That's how big this could potentially be. Millions and tens of millions of developers across the world with amazing skills, passion, a desire to do something awesome. There really hasn't ever been a project that brought for developers by developers that brought them all together in a decentralized way. That's why I'm here, and it's bigger than a couple $1 billion worth of enterprise value. It's way bigger than that. This is a global movement, if it's anything. If it's not a global movement, it's nothing. My name's Tom Karen. I'm the chief nerd,
Right.
and I
So
wrangle nerds.
thank you for making that video. I've been sharing that a lot. I got my hyper node. And first off, I want to welcome Billy Womack, and I know Billy's going to welcome you. You're out in Hawaii. We want to get you off the computer and out in that sun. So Billy Womack is, he's took the role on to mentor me, guys. So he's got a job to do because I work really hard, and to find someone that works harder than I do, if not as hard as I do, I got a little baby right next to me. You can't see, but he's sleeping. Another one's in the other room, and another one's in the other room. So I got a busy life, and for me to take on another project, I wanted to know basically the meat and potatoes. And once I met Billy and he laid this out to me, he's like, after everything he said, he's like, welcome to the other side. And I'm like, thank you. I have not heard any of these things before from anybody in the space of DeFi, blockchain, or cryptocurrency. I've been dabbling around for years, and all I've found is just broken promises or over promising and under delivering. And this company and is by far the smoothest, the coolest, the most compliant with the best legal team I've ever seen. And to have CEOs come on here from different brands and speak to us is phenomenal. So Billy has made tens of millions of dollars all in this company, not in a bunch of different ones, all here. So talking to him, learning, I'm just like trying to soak up everything I can. I grabbed a flagpole and I stuck it right into Connect United, and this is where I'm at, and I'm not going anywhere. So don't even talk to me about something else. So Billy Womack, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for getting Tom on here. I'm gonna quit talking because I don't even like hearing myself talk. And I can't wait to see more from your back office and your vision and what you did in this company, and then hear from Tom. So thanks for being on with us.
Well, thank you for having me again. This time, not from Las Vegas. I'm in beautiful Tampa, Florida. I'd show you a Zoom picture, but my internet is very spotty. And if I do that, you guys will probably freeze and I'll lose you guys. So until the next time, we'll just stick with this. But I want to tell you guys that you guys are very fortunate to have someone like Brian that is really committed to helping you guys learn. We've had very deep conversations about what his goals are, where he wants to be at in the next couple years with his beautiful family. And one of the things he wants to do is not only take care of his family, but help you guys take care of your families. And we've had some deep talks. I said, Brian, listen, you've got to plant that flag, and you've got to say, listen, this is where I'm going to be, because once you're an expert in blockchain, everybody wants to come at you from 10 different directions, tell you about the new shiny star that's out there. And I said, this one, if you do this the right way the first time, you're not going to have to do 10 other things, 5 other things, 1 other thing. This will be the one and only that you have to do, because very fortunate for me, I saw this opportunity years ago, 7 years ago, and I've been with the gentleman that created this platform literally from day one. And that was about 2 years ago. I think Tom and I had the opportunity to meet. Has it been 2 years ago, Tom? It's been a minute ago.
Yeah, I think at least 2 years.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
when the
coming
gentleman
up on
created,
3 this fall.
yeah, coming up on 3 years. Yeah, goodness gracious. And I remember that day, and we went to dinner that night, me, you, your wife, and a handful of other people. And the guy said, I want you sitting right next to Tom. I want you picking his brain and learning about this guy, because this is the gentleman that's going to be building out our infrastructure of all the brands that we do. And guys, if you guys are on here and you're new to what we've started, you've got to kind of trickle around and peek around and connect and see these different brands. And the gentleman I'm getting ready to introduce you to is the sole.
Well, Tom, he froze on us again. So he'll be back. If you want to take over, you're more than welcome to kind of, I guess, tell him a little bit about yourself, because I think that's what Billy was getting ready to do.
Yeah, no worries. Billy, we hardly knew you, but we're excited for you to get back on the call. Listen, everybody, it is an amazing opportunity to be able to jump on with you guys and talk about Nerd today. Just a little bit about myself. I am a computer scientist. I got a computer science degree at Brigham Young University in the mid-90s, and I've been practicing as a technologist since then, so over 25 years in technology. As a startup founder, a CTO, a CEO, taking companies from idea through execution all the way to acquisition, building teams, building disruptive products. And in my career, I've had the opportunity to create over $2 billion worth of enterprise value. Today, I am the chief nerd. So I'm in charge of Nerd, which is the company that has built the platform for and the technology and the infrastructure for the entire ecosystem. So all of the logos that you see behind Brian there, Nerd has been the one that has created the blockchains for those companies, the websites, the e-commerce. So we've deployed all of those blockchains and all that technology to enable them to go attack their specific industry. And so it's been a massive effort and a massive lift and initiative. I see Billy's back on. Billy, we did the intro. I want to thank Billy for bringing me into the call and giving me an opportunity to share with you guys today the massive opportunity that is Nerd and the hyper blockchain. So jumping into that, guys, I always try to be mission driven. Stephen R. Covey said in his book that you need to know the beginning from the end. So where are we heading? Where are we going here? Nerd's mission is to accelerate innovation globally. And what do we mean by that? What does it mean to say accelerate innovation? Like I said in the video intro, innovation, disruptive technological innovation is the thing that moves the human condition forward. Just as an example of that, I think we probably all agree that, the way politics is going these days, I'm not sure any of that is moving us forward. But there's certainly a lot of positivity around innovation and the things that are happening to make the world a better place for the humans that live in it. And just an example of that, last night, I was on, the internet's watching launch a Starlink mission out of Vandenberg in California. And it's just so amazing to think that they've put these, with reusable rockets, they've put these satellites up into orbit that have made it so that we can get internet anywhere, right? And people all over the world in rural areas or whatever can have internet. And I just bring that up as an example of how disruptive technological innovation drives the human condition and moves us all forward and connects us. And so that is our mission here at Nerd, is to drive and accelerate innovation. And we hope to make lives better for millions and millions of people. And how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, we deployed the hyper blockchain. I want to tell you about kind of why we did that and what that's for. Our vision is that there are millions and tens of millions of innovators, developers, builders, entrepreneurs out there in the world who, for one, they're not connected to each other. And for two, they're trying to do what they do. They're trying to build stuff, but they don't really have a great way to measure how well they're doing and to kind of get insights into their productivity and the impact of their work. And this is why we built and deployed the hyper blockchain, is so that we can create a community of builders, hopefully millions and millions strong, where they can come together on that blockchain and on a platform that's called Perspect, that I'll tell you a little bit more about today, to do their craft. They don't need to work for us. They can work wherever they are. If they're in Europe, they can work there. If they're in the United States, they can work there. If they're in South America or Asia, it doesn't matter. Wherever they're working and whoever they're working for, they can use the hyper blockchain and they can use the Perspect product to become better at their craft. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how that product works, Perspect. How do they get better at their craft? It turns out that, building software is a little bit of a dark art. For those of you that are software developers and those of you that know software developers, they kind of get wired into their station and they don't want anyone to bug them for a little bit, and they code, right? And they turn their code in and hopefully they built some awesome features, but it's kind of a dark art. Like, how do you know that they're productive? How do you even know what they're doing, right? So what Perspect does is it watches all of their activities. It knows where their code is. It knows what code branches they're working on. It knows the development environment that they're working in, and it tracks all of their activities and all of their actions. And for starters, it provides insights to the developers into their productivity. It also provides transparency for the team. As I mentioned, one of the problems with software development is they kind of go off in a corner and do their work. and nobody knows what they're doing. And so the Perspect tool brings transparency and productivity to that. And we'll drop a link here and show you a little bit about that. But in my 25 years, one of the things that I've learned that I'm sure many of you already know, so I don't think I'm sharing anything that you don't already know, but it's not just about the individuals. It's always about unlocking the power of the team. If you want to accomplish something significant, you've got to have everybody on the team grinding and working hard, but there's got to be a synergy where you unlock the power of that team. You got to have, in software, you've got to have the designer and the front end developer and the back end developer and the data guy and the DevOps guy. And they've all got to be synergized and working in lockstep to make incredible things happen. In my career, one of the things I've noticed is when we get high performing teams motivated and working hard on a really compelling vision, that's when the magic happens. That's when we unlock the productivity and when the really amazing things happen. Okay. And the Perspect tool that we've built that runs on top of the Hyper blockchain has the capability to get those individuals up and running productively. They can see what they're doing. They can optimize their performance. It scores them. It helps them understand how collaborative they are, how productive they are, all of those kinds of things. So it is an AI-based tool that watches all of their work, provides insights to the developers, provides insights to the team, and importantly, also captures all of their accomplishments. One of the other challenges that I've seen in my work as a tech entrepreneur is that you have these amazing people that are building these products, but nobody really knows who did it or what they did. And it's hard to try to figure out what should we pay them. What was the merit of their work? What are we paying them? And what was the impact of the work they did? Did we pay them enough? Are we paying them too much? So we're big proponents of the idea of merit-based pay. Now, in the sales world, I think we're all very familiar with merit-based pay. When you accomplish something, then you get rewarded for accomplishing something. That's very normal in the sales world. And those incentives drive behaviors, right? We're all incentivized. We want to succeed. So we work hard in order to be able to exceed and to accomplish things. And then we receive the incentives for doing that. In the software world, there's no good mechanism for tracking the impact of people's work and for showing their accomplishments. And so one of the up and coming features of the Perspect platform on the Hyper blockchain is as individual contributors and teams get things done, those accomplishments get tokenized on the Hyper blockchain. And the developer has an almost like a living NFT that shows the things they've accomplished. They can show that to their team members. They can show that to the bosses. They can even show that in a resume format. So it's no longer about what someone claims they did or what someone says they did on a project. We'll be able to actually see what did someone do, what were their accomplishments, and would they be good for another type of a project. So I want to drop a couple links in the chat here. I don't know, Brian, is it possible for me to take the screen momentarily?
Yeah, you are a co-host, so you can share your screen all you want.
Okay. So I'm going to take the screen here and we're going to share my desktop. And then I want to show you guys, well, looks like maybe Zoom isn't going to let me share. 1 second. All right. Zoom's not going to let me share, guys, but I'm going to drop a few things in the chat here. So the first thing that I am going to drop in the chat is a link to Nerd's website. And this is something that you guys can look at just to learn a little bit more about Nerd. Who is Nerd? What do we do at Nerd? Okay. This is kind of backstory stuff and all of kind of the things that we've accomplished at Nerd. The next thing that I want to drop in, and this is a little bit more important, is the site for the Perspect product, which runs on top of the Hyper blockchain. Okay. And look, this is something you guys can click and it'll be very self-explanatory. You'll be able to go down and see that it's the platform for high performance software teams. You'll be able to see kind of what does it look like from a team perspective. There's a feed. You can see the activity that the developers are participating in. Really, it puts a visualization to their efforts. It is AI and machine learning backed. It connects to the tools. There's about 20 tools that it's already connected with that developers use every day. So developers don't have to do anything different in order to be able to use this. And the goal here is for them to build better and to have happier and more productive teams. Okay. So that is the Perspect platform, and that's where we are going to essentially bring thousands and then tens of thousands and millions of developers together. We already are approaching a couple thousand developers on the platform. We just launched the platform a couple weeks ago on Product Hunt. We took second place on Product Hunt, and developers coming in by the hundreds every day into the platform. One of the other important aspects of this that I wanted to make sure you guys understood is our token is called the Eon token. So that's EON. So together, Hyper and Eon, that's Hyperion, which is a reference to one of the Greek gods of knowledge. Okay. This is a business insights platform. So we wanted to name it after Hyperion. But how does the Eon token play into this? The answer to that question is incentives. We know that we want the developers to come into the Perspect platform to do their work so that we can quantify their work, so that we can help them measure and improve their productivity, so that we can help them work in a more transparent fashion, so that we can help them understand the impact of their work, and so that there can be some merit-oriented pay associated with their work. And this is where the Eon token comes in. The Eon token is a payment token that is leveraged in the platform for providing an incentive to the developers that are in the platform. So one thing that happens is as developers come into the platform and they do various activities in the platform demonstrating their work, they become points eligible and they are able to earn points. And there is a daily giveaway. We have a battery where we've established a portion of nodes that are empowering a battery that goes into a daily giveaway in Perspect. So as developers come into Perspect and do their daily activities, including referring other developers to the platform, they're able to earn points and they are able to earn Eon token. Okay. They can also earn Eon token by completing tasks associated with their work from the stakeholders of their projects. So developers can earn the Eon token by using Perspect, both from their bosses, the companies that they work on, and from the battery that we've put together to reward developers for using the platform. So there's an incentive here for the developers to come in and share their information with the platform and use the platform. They don't have to do a whole lot different. They just really plug the platform into their existing tools and do their work, and then they become rewards eligible for doing that. And we want the developers, again, we want the developers to become more successful. We want them to learn what it is that makes them more productive. We want them to have a higher impact of their work. And in exchange for doing that, they're going to be able to receive those Eon tokens. Now, we anticipate that in order to pay out Eon tokens to developers, a lot of startups and a lot of companies and a lot of project stakeholders are going to have to go out into the open market and buy those Eon tokens, or they're going to have to come get nodes or the hyper nodes, right? And so we believe that there will be a strong secondary market for a use case for the Eon token, basically as an incentive and a rewards mechanism for software developers. Now, one of the questions that people always ask me is, okay, that sounds cool. So you're going to get developers in here. They're going to learn how to be more productive. They're going to work hard. They're going to be incentivized by the Eon token. That all sounds great. But how big is this? Okay. Well, every single company in the world competes on how innovative their technology is now. Every single company in the world competes on how innovative their technology is now. If a company doesn't have an app, doesn't have an innovative technology, I don't care if it's a grocery store, they're going to fall behind their competitors. Okay. So we know that every single company in the world, really the way we talk about this in software, as we say the phrase, software is eating the world. And what that means is every company is becoming a software company, which means that every company has got to figure out how to make their developers more productive. So how big is that? How many developers are there? Well, there are tens of millions of developers globally. Um, Other kinds of companies in our industry that have gone out and aggregated millions of developers into their platforms have ended up with deca-billion-dollar valuations. Now, I'm not allowed to talk about the potential outcomes of the value of the Eon token. I can't make any forward-looking statements, okay? But what I can tell you is this is not just another software platform. This is not some meme coin. We already have a significant platform in the market where hundreds of developers are signing up per day to get in and use this platform. And our goal isn't just to get a lot of developers in this platform. Our goal is to do a global movement. One of the things I said in the video is this is either a global movement and it's massive or it's nothing. Okay. Why? Because if it's a global movement, if we get millions of developers in this platform, we know what the value of that will be to the developers, to the companies that those developers work for, and to the people who are participating as operators of nodes in this blockchain that drives this product. Okay. I will tell you this. I believe that this project is my magnum opus. In my entire career, I've had such a blessed opportunity to create new technologies that have driven all kinds of different industries. At one point in my career, my very first startup, we created a technology platform that won the enterprise in its category and actually defined a whole category of software. That category of software, the total addressable market for that category of software is 11 billion today. The company that we created is worth more than $1 billion. And we created that whole category, and that was fun. But I think that's nothing compared to what the potential of this is. Okay. There are millions and millions of developers who are underappreciated, who don't have all of the opportunities that they want, who want to show their stuff. They want to hustle. They want to learn. They want to grow. They want to show the merit of their work. They want people to use the things that they're building. And they don't have a tribe. Those people don't have a tribe today. So we are going to network these developers and entrepreneurs such as yourselves into a tribe to drive this initiative globally. And that's why I believe that this will be my magnum opus. This will be better than just me and my team building a good software platform. This will be millions of developers contributing to something that's way bigger than what we could do by ourselves. And so we need people like you, Brian and Billy and everyone on this call to help us get this message out. We need people to get hypernodes and back innovation. We need people to learn more about what this platform is doing and contribute and become part of this movement. I'm excited about it. I hope that this is the capstone of my career, creating something that isn't just an innovation, but that drives innovation globally. So I will post one more link for you guys. One of the best places you can go to kind of follow what we're doing with our team is actually our social media on LinkedIn. So I just posted up the Perspect page on LinkedIn. We don't have time in this call, but I'm going to highly recommend that you take a little minute after the call, click on that link and go listen to some of the developers. There's some 2 to 3 minute videos out there, guys, of developers who've used the platform and what it's doing for them and how it's driving those guys. So take a look at that. One great question that just came up here, and I'm just winding up. Norm asked the question, what if you're not a developer? How can you profit? This isn't just for developers. This is for anyone who's participating in the process of building software. If you're a stakeholder in a project, then you're interested in this, okay? It primarily is to help us, make the developers more productive, but that has an effect on all kinds of project stakeholders, from sales guys to business guys, all the way through every kind of company that's doing any kind of innovation. All right, so
And let me jump in here. Let me jump in here, Tom. So up in Utah, Tom has, and I want to speak to what he just mentioned right there. Tom has these meetings. I don't know how often you do remember when I was up there a month or so ago, Tom? What was that meeting about? He has this like tech meeting quarterly or something to that effect, and businesses of all kinds come in and hear of not only just how nerd from perspective as the productivity of their companies can grow, but we have a couple gentlemen, Tony being one of them, that said, hey, I don't remember, no, it was Tomas, said, hey, I've got this company, this company, this company. You mean to tell me your software could come in and tell my other software developers how productive they are, what we're lagging in and what we're specializing in, and really kind of grade what we're doing? And Tom's like, absolutely, that's exactly what we do. And he goes, that's pretty amazing. So people even that aren't developers, just like Tom said, are finding value in what they're doing. And hear that word value, because if you're really wanting to be a part of this community, that's what we're doing. We're supporting Tom. We're supporting what their driving force is, and knowing that they're putting true value into the world. And guys, we can't speak to where the coin is going or anything else like that, like Tom said. But if you're truly going to get behind a company, understand the people that succeed are the ones that drive value, value, value. So that's what I find exciting about this. Tom, what was that meeting that you guys host up there? Is it quarterly you guys do that?
Yeah, we do a quarterly. So our offices are in Lehi, Utah, which is kind of dead center in what they call Silicon Slopes in Utah. There's a massive kind of tech ecosystem in Utah. And so we do a quarterly meeting where we pull in all kinds of companies from the local area at Silicon Slopes, just to have really a day conference on kind of what's happening in tech, what are the latest tools, what's happening in the tech industry in general. So I think we had about 50 companies in the day that you were there, Billy. And really, we are thought leaders in AI, blockchain, and productivity for the tech industry here at Nerd. So we do a lot of that, and we'll be kind of growing that as we go. And maybe just one last comment. I think a really great question that Norm asked is, how do you profit if you're not a techie here? Well, you don't have to be an engineer at Google to profit off the rise of Google. Okay. If you believe that what we're doing with the hyper blockchain, what we're doing with Perspect is something that can drive a lot of value in the enterprise, well, then you can participate in that by buying a node, and you can ride along and provide contributions to that as we go. Okay. You don't have to be a software engineer to get value out of this. You can back the blockchain. If you believe that we can aggregate a lot of value for software engineers and for tech companies that are building, then all you have to do is participate as a node owner, and you can help drive the value of that blockchain. So there's an opportunity here to participate, whether you're a software developer or whether you're a salesperson. Whatever, as long as you believe in the market and the industry that we're going after, and that there can be a success there as far as adoption of the platform, I think then there's an opportunity whether you're a developer or not.
Great. Brian, any questions from you?
No, how's Hawaii? I'm excited. I got my Hypernode. It's set up, it's online, so I mean, I like the price point was there. When's the next half with yours?
We'll talk about that for a second. The reason the price point is where it is is because Hyper is a little different than all the other blockchains. And in fact, and there's not 100,000 nodes, there's actually 500,000 nodes because of the group that they're working with. Correct, Tom? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. So we wanted our nodes to be a little more accessible from a price standpoint because we're hoping that we get a lot more people in as node owners. We wanted to make sure that if developers wanted to participate, they could. Of course, they're not the only ones that can buy a hypernode. Any business stakeholder can buy a hypernode. And so we actually have basically 5 times as many hypernodes available as the other blockchains in our ecosystem. And because of that, we basically started our price 5 times lower than the other nodes. So our nodes cost a little bit less. We launched the Hyper blockchain August 25th of 2023. So we're still in the first year of distribution. It's still very early. Now, I believe our halving will happen, third or fourth week of August of this year. Okay, so we're still in that first year where our blockchain is giving out roughly 68 million tokens a day to our node owners. But do keep in mind that one hypernode, as far as how much it rewards eligibility, it's about the same as 5 nodes of another brand as far as the reward eligibility.
You hear that, guys?
1/5,
So
1/5.
1/5. Yeah, it's 1/5. Okay. So, listen, we think the hyper nodes have a great accessible price point. And if you like one, then you can get one. If you want more than that, you can certainly buy more than that. We'll allow it.
Right. Thank you so much, Tom.
So Tom is in Hawaii. So I want to thank Tom so much for jumping on with us this evening and taking away from his time with his family. And I'll see Tom next week in Hawaii when I fly out to Kauai and spend a little time with him and all of our other CEOs. So thank you so much, Tom, for jumping on with us. Your time's valuable, but thank you so much for doing what you do to help not only with the nerd, but also with all the other brands and with the development of helping us take this to that next level.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you, Billy, for having me. Brian as well. Really great to have an opportunity to just share some thoughts about the hyper blockchain with y'all today, share the vision. And Billy, looking forward to seeing you next week out here in Hawaii.
You got it, buddy. All right. Thank you.
All right,
Brian.
guys.
So thank you. Thank you, Tom. So Brian, I will try to stay with connectivity here. I'm not sure how much we have here. Can you hear me okay?
You're all right. If maybe don't share your screen while you're sharing, or share your screen, but don't use the video. Sorry.
Okay. Turn off my video.
Yeah, when you go to share your screen and everything, maybe that'll help some bandwidth.
Okay. Well, you probably don't want to see my ugly mug anyway, so that works out better.
That picture's
Okay.
much.
So, all right. So guys, the last person, let me go back in here real quick here, who just says, how do we make money? Let me go back up to that question. Can y'all explain to those of us not tech or developers how we can make money in this business? If you're talking about what we were just talking about with Nerd, it's buying, obviously, we're hoping, we can't speak of the future. Guys, there's a lot of people on here. You guys come from backgrounds, and I'm not saying, Bill, this is direct to you. I'm just saying in general. A lot of people always just talk about money, money, money. We can't do that because we're a 100% compliant type company where we can't go out and say, you're going to make X, Y, Z, or you're going to make this per day, per month. That's not what we do. Those people, obviously, as you guys know, went out of business. And that's part of the reason. If you find value or you hear value of what we're doing, obviously, Brian's probably worked with you guys in the past. I'm not sure how many true CEOs he's ever had on, or at least where we've got on like this. And these are guys that built $2 billion in software. He was one of Microsoft's top guys and been doing this for 26 years. These are legitimate of real companies jumping on, explaining to you guys what we're building. And if you can't see value in that, I'm sorry, but I see a lot of value in that. That's what Brian sees the value in that. And sometimes we just have to play in the hands of that, just like some of these other CEOs that we'll have on here for you guys as well. But we can't speak to the future. No one knows the future, and we can't advertise you're going to make X, Y, Z of money. But that's where the faith comes in, and that's why we buy software notes in hopes that maybe one day, someday, it's going to be worth some, something. We can't explain what it is. Maybe it never goes to anything. No one ever knows. But I have enough faith. I've been doing this 7+ years. I've been here from day one, and that first one, I didn't think it was going to do that well at all, and it went to 84 cents, and I made over $10 million. So, it was a cool figure, but it's worth it for me to buy these software nodes in hopes and give these guys the support that I'm doing. And that's really what it's about. So if this is one of those things where you're saying, well, I need to know exactly what I can make, this is not for you. I'm sorry, but I'm very honest. I'm very straightforward. This may not be the thing for you. But
I love
I
it,
can tell
Billy.
you
Billy, start off with telling people though how you made that first $10 million. Did you recruit a ton of people?
I recruited zero, not one single person. What I did was bought me 11 software nodes, and those 11 software nodes, I believed in the project. You guys are right here wondering, how can you make money? I believed enough in the future. Remember, when I bought my software nodes, we didn't start getting on exchanges for 2 years later. That's called faith. I believed in the CEO. I believed in the project, just like I got on Zooms just right here, right now. This is not something these get rich quick, so you're going to start getting paid next week. That's not who we are. That's not what we're about. These are real brands and real companies that take years to build out. And luckily for you guys, these brands have been built out for years. 3 years, Tom and I and some of these other guys have been working on this to now take it to market. But it's taken us years and years to get it to this point, so you guys can come in on the tail end, and hopefully the world and the community will find value as it starts hitting exchanges, hopefully later this summer, because that dictates on a special group of us, not Tom. The brands do not ever get these on the exchanges. We have a community driven group that helps do that, and that's what I'm a part of. That's why I kind of bring a lot of this information to you guys. So I'm going to share with you guys a couple little things real quick that we're coming up on 40 minutes here. We want to keep this under an hour. So I want to share a couple things real quick with you guys. I think nope, that is not it. Oops, I didn't lose you guys. Let me see here. I went to the wrong one. Nope, that's not it either. Let's stop share and hit the right button here. Let me see here. Where is it? I'm going to try to see. I think this is it. Yep. Can you guys see Gala? Okay. So this was the first platform that I bought software nodes to right here. This is my actual back office. You'll see my little picture right here. This is the platform. And right here, you can kind of see the software nodes I bought 4 years ago, June of 2019, are still giving me distribution. Unable to get notification. Hold on. Trying to get signal for you guys. This is really difficult. Let me just refresh my screen here.
Yeah, it's definitely running a little slow.
Sorry, Brian, bear with me.
No, you're okay.
Yeah, I apologize, guys.
We got a couple other recordings that
Well, I'm always somewhere where the internet's not the best. And I'm at a hotel right here on the water, so you would think it'd be great, and I'm having all kinds of issues here. Well, all right, let me go back to connect real quick.
yeah, one good thing, Billy, is you've shown
Go
this.
ahead.
We have some replays of that as well. And click around here, make sure this loads. But
Yep.
what Billy has shown before is that he's still generating over 7,000 tokens per day of Gala, and he's still making a great, I wouldn't say residual because the nodes obviously have to be
15,000 a month, right at today's price, 15 grand a month off that 11K that I originally put in 4 years ago, on top of pulling out the millions, millions and millions, over 10 million plus dollars that I've done. So Guys, it's a needle in a haystack. Uh, that's what life is all about, and that's what it's really about when you're talking about being a techie. The people that come in and make the most money are those that really find the CEOs like Tom and these projects that are put around. You don't have to put a little bit. The nerd nodes are what, only $1,000, guys. This is not like you're going in like I have, and now I've got millions and millions of dollars of my own money invested in these projects. But I believe enough in what we're doing, the way that we build things out, and the teams that we have around, that it's worth the opportunity. Now you guys have to decide that for yourself. That's why we get on here and try to educate you. That's why we try to bring these CEOs. And you hear, Tom's wife, he's been married for 31 years with 5 kids. And I've known him now for a little over 3, maybe 3.5 years, 3 years at least. And he's a serial entrepreneur, and he's done $2 billion worth of sales in the techie world. So those are guys I'm going to hang my hat with. Those are guys I'm putting my support around, because those are guys that have already done it year after year after year after year. And that's what anybody that gets involved with a startup tech company or anything else, that's exactly what they look for. So we're just trying to educate you guys on what we're doing. This may or may not be for you. I tell people that all the time. I don't ever get out there and try to tell you what to do, or neither will Brian. We just want to let you know where we're going and what we're doing. And then there's opportunities. If you go out and you decide you want to build like Brian and I, there's opportunities out here like that. And right here, I'll just kind of, Brian, can you see my screen all right? Is it loading up?
Yes, sir. I see it, your dashboard.
So right here, just in the last 60 days, we've sold about 500 and no, I'm sorry, on my whole team, about 1,000 nodes. In the last, literally February the 1st, 578 nodes. And in between these two, I've built about 3,700 people in the last 60 days, which is super cool. Right here, you'll see if you decide you want to kind of refer some people over into the business. They do pay if you kind of roll your sleeves up, if that's something you want to do. You don't obviously have to do that. I made $10 million without referring one single person. But then I was like, oh, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. So since then, since February the 1st, this is my actual back office, I've made about $150,000 right here, because here's another 3 that just causes a day. Here's another 9 that just got in. So about 160 something $1,000 in 60 days. What's that? 80,000 a month. I'm averaging. So it doesn't pay, it doesn't hurt to kind of do that. Matter of fact, Brian told me to touch a little bit on why I'm going to Hawaii next week. And the reason that I'm going to Kauai is because I was one of the few people out there that come in and won a contest that allowed, we went out and sold $250,000 pretty quickly in business, and we were able to receive, me and a guest, round trip tickets to Kauai for they gave us $1,000 credit per person. So fly first class, or at least that's what it's costing me. Flying first class, 5 days, meet each and every one of our CEOs, all of our up and coming CEOs, the core team behind Connect, and the leadership that kind of put this whole thing together. I haven't missed an event in 7 years, not one single one, whether it's invite only or competition. I'm at every single thing that they host, that they do, and invite you. I'm inviting you guys, if that's something you look forward to wanting to do one day, where you can go meet all these CEOs and see what they're doing. It's a really honor to go meet these guys and really dig in and understand what we're building. Your belief level will go through the roof when you get to see each and every one of these CEOs. You will actually go through the roof. And oh, this is just today's payouts. But yeah, so I'll stop here unless there's something else you guys wanted.
On Billy, if you could, we see there's a lot of no's. We see there's 2 new companies as well. There's a Zoom probably in 10 minutes where they're probably going to talk about Rev and Raleigh. So definitely jump on that, guys. It's in the chat. But Billy, why are Win nodes so important? And can you talk a little bit about the Win Smart node, which is the company's node?
Yeah, so Connect is the marketing arm for all of the brands. So when you own a Win Smart Node, what you're doing is you're accumulating those rewards. But as this thing gets onto the market, and it will, because I help support that. And I can say that because I'm one of the community leaders helping it get onto the exchanges. And we've already got it like on Pancake Swap, it came out with a nickel, but we're getting ready to do a lot more support on that aspect. But let's just say even at a nickel, because that's where it was a couple weeks ago, at a nickel, let me just show you guys real quick. Right here. Here is my Connect. Since February the 1st, my rewards, I'm going to use, Brian, I don't have my phone's over there. Here, I'll grab it real quick. 1 second.
I got a calculator ready.
Okay. So, I want to say how we're gonna wrap this up in 3 minutes, guys. So just bear with me real quick. So right here, got 13,600 rewards since February the 1st. So let's just do the math real quick. Why is this important? Why is it really cool? At a nickel, that's $680,000 in rewards that I've accumulated the last couple months. And you'll see right here, ranked number 38. Kind of slipped from the other day because I've been traveling so much. But I was never actually the first 25 are spoken for. So I'm really, or actually up to 30. I'm really number 4 in the world because there's a platform of a couple guys that have put literally close to 55 million that take up those first umpteen positions. But anyway, this is kind of what they come in right now at 33 to, let's just say, about 32,000 averaging per day. But the reason this is awesome because I can use any of these rewards, as you guys see right here, by nodes. I can switch over here. I can use this and I could buy, let's just say whatever the market value of that is. If it was at a nickel still across, I'm not sure. I haven't looked lately, but if it's at a nickel, I'd have $680,000. I only bought $5,000 of those nodes. That makes sense. So I bought, no, excuse me. Yeah, because I bought those nodes when they were 500 each. So I've got only 10 or 15 of them right now. So I could utilize that 680 grand to buy as many of these nodes as I, divide 2,500 into that. So that is how you really compound what we've got going on here is buying more and more and more of these nodes. Now, it is a shot in the dark. But it's an educated shot in the dark, in my humble opinion. And that's what I've been able to do to make the kind of money without one single person in this business. But now I've personally got millions of my own dollars invested into this platform. So, and I've pulled millions out. So, but also now I've got over 600 nodes online, cranking out about 1.5 million rewards per day. So it's a totally different thing. But you got to kind of search right here. These two are brand new, Rev and Rally. They're going to talk about that in about 8 minutes on this new call that's coming up. So I'm going to kind of pause, let you guys take a break. And Brian, I'm going to finish up. That way, if they need to take a little break before they jump on that next one, if they want to watch that one, they're going to go. But
No, thank you. And for everybody that's on here, this wasn't your typical overview. This wasn't like, what's this business opportunity? How you make money from this? We're providing value by, obviously Billy getting on here, and he's done multiple different Zooms for us, once, twice a week, going over this. And then we're bringing on CEOs as well of the different brands. You can see there's a lot of different brands. What's behind my head, and Hyper is the one behind all of this, which is really cool knowing that about that node. So, your next action step is to get back with the person that invited you here and then get the information from them. The person that invited you has a lot of information. This company has a phenomenal back office that has a share button that has videos over every single brand almost, what the explainer is of the company, what a node is. There's a phenomenal YouTube channel. There's a great Discord, Instagram, Twitter, basically everything. The company has it laid out, and your next action step is basically just getting the information from the person that invited you and getting back to them if you're on the Zoom or you're watching a replay. and then jumping on Tuesday mornings or Tuesday nights or Thursday morning, Thursday night, and getting on those Zooms. They've happened, every week. Sometimes the Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings they've canceled in the past, but these guys have been very consistent. And me and Billy will get out another schedule probably going in next week for doing more of an overview to show you guys the back office, and then him talking about it, because hearing his story on how he bought 11 nodes and made 8 figures, I get that asked all the time. Do I have to recruit? Absolutely no. You don't. But you want to be a part of a business and recruit for something that has a legit legal team behind it and is SEC compliant, that's still DeFi and just has their crap together, folks. I'm done playing games out there and done playing the crypto games and people are getting hurt. Want to be a part of something that's real. And this man over here has been with this company for 7 years and he's been supporting us nonstop. So thanks for being on, Billy. Appreciate you. I know you're there with your friends. You take time to run to the hotel and do this for us. And guys, jump on that. It's in the chat below down there. Just click on that link and join over on that group. There'll be 200 people on that call. So you guys are always welcome to be on these Zooms. Just get back to the person that invited you. And thank you again, Billy, for having Tom on and for you being on as well. All right.
Guys, I can tell you, if you don't believe the lifestyle, someone told me the other day, it just sounds too good to be true. And I tell people the life I live, I feel very blessed. I'm very humbled about it. But if you don't take a little chance, you're Brian could show you his wallet, what he's made. It's real. It happens. People follow me on Instagram all the time. They're like, holy smolies. It's just, it's nuts, but it's a blessing. Don't count yourself out just saying it's too good to be true. We've been building this for years. You guys don't know the sweat equity that we've put into this to get it to this point so you guys can look at this. So it's been years and years and years of making for us, and we've had a lot of mistakes, a lot of hiccups, but a lot of successes along the way. So we're to this point now, we're handing it off to you guys. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, great. But we're going to continue building this with or without you, and with or without me. It's now growing exponentially. We definitely want you to be a part of it, though. So thank you. You guys jump on that next call. I guarantee you're going to learn a little bit more about these next projects. And if it doesn't fire you up, we'll get on another call. Hopefully they'll fire you up even more. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.